and welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. Now what I want to try and achieve is, you see, when I click on this view button, or when this program loads, I want to be able to see all of the data within this data grid view. So I'm going to exit out. I'm going to create a function here, maybe up here. Let's create a function, and that very function, I'm going to call it, let's say private whatever, a private, I want to say sub viewer. There we go. And inside sub viewer, what I want to do is, let me grab hold of some data in here. So I'm going to first of all get it opened. Yeah, grab hold of all of this. I'm not going to need this. So just grab hold of up to here for now and come right there, paste that in there. Grab hold of this. Come right down here, delete all of this. I'm going to say DA will be equals new OLEDB data adapter, and in there I'm going to ask you to select. Let's come in here, select, and that is select all from whatever name, the name of my database, that is it there, VB. Okay, VB save data. So in there I'm just going to say comma, enter my connect there. Alright, now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to ask that my variable that is known as a DA, I'm going to say equals, now I want it to fill, now let's say dot fill DT. Alright, and DT, that is my table. Yeah, I do have that there. I will now assign whatever I have inside DT into my data grid view itself, data grid view 1. So we say dot data source, that is going to be DT, whatever DT has is stored in here. Finally, we close the connection. There we go. Okay, now let's copy this function. I'm going to paste it right inside form load. Form load is right directly underneath anyway, so come there, paste that there, and just save. Now let's run it and try it out just to see how that's going to look like. And right there, that's my data. That's very good. But guess what, I don't seem to like this. Maybe I'll find a way to just to move this. Yeah, why not? Okay, that's fine. So the view itself is working now. We can also just paste the view in here. So what I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to go back into my function here. I'm going to call this data grid view right underneath here. Let's say data grid view dot column. The very first one is always a 0, so I'm going to say 0 dot the width, and I'm going to make that about, let's say 130. Okay, that would do. I think that might be too much, but let's see. So I'm going to copy it. I have 6 columns there, so that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to change this to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. So let's save and try that out one more time. So I'm going to click on run. There, look at that. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's good. So I like that. Okay, so the next thing we now want to do, let's close that. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it right inside my data grid. No, right inside view. So click on view, paste that in view. So anytime we run it, we can just click on view if that's so that we actually display whatever we have in there. Okay, just something like that. Now let's do one thing. I'm going to say data source. I want you to refresh everything. Okay, so let's say dot data source, and that's the first time it will be nothing. There, and data grid view dot refresh. Okay, so hopefully that should take care of that. Okay, I've taken care of the view. Now let's go back in here. Let's take care of, we've already done this. Let's take care of update. Double click on update. With the update, I'm going to go to the save. I'm just going to copy everything I have in here. Copy and come right down here, paste that right there. And okay, we need to take care of this. The command in here will be update. So first thing first, let's delete everything we have in here and change that to update. The name of my database is VB updates VB SIP data, and I'm going to ask you to set my student ID. That will be equals single and double quote apostrophe, and let's say plus txt student ID dot text, and let's say plus double quote single where first name, that will be equals plus txt first name dot text. So what will happen in there is that we just correct whatever update that I want. Double quote and surname. Let's say on surname in there. Surname equals single double quotes plus txt surname dot text plus single and double. There we go. That is it. Done. And right here, I'm just going to change this one to record updated successfully. So there we go. All right. So let's do one more thing. Here, I'm going to call the viewer. So once it's updated, let's call my viewer in there. That is it. That's a function. I'm calling that. Alright, I'm going to also devise another thing. But first, before I can try this out, let's go into my data grid view here. This very one, select that. I'm going to go straight into the properties of that. I want to, so that I can click on the data grid view and then add everything back here. Then I can carry out one or two changes. So now right here, double click on that. And there. So right in here, I'm going to use try. Let's say try cache if there's any error. Now, let's say txt student ID dot text should be stored. Whatever value we have inside data grid view, 1 in column 0 dot select role Okay, the role in this case is 0 dot cells, and that is cell 0 dot value. Okay, then let's say dot to string. So that is the very first one taken care of. So when I click on that, once I click on that role, all of these values will be stored on the text box. So copy that and change that for the others. Okay, we have 6. So this one will become first name. Then here we have surname. And here that will be address. Here I'm going to check that is postcode. And finally we have telephone here. Okay, now this will be 0, this one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. And my error handler here. So let's just paste that in there if there's any error. And that's it. So just for your information, the event used is called cell click. So let's try that out now. I'm going to run it. When I click on any of the cell, I should be able to view all of the data on my system, on the text box. So let's click on this. There we go. Look at that. And supposing we want to change this of Sally to something like that, you just click on update. Click on yes. Okay, as you can see, it updated, but it actually reproduces itself again. So we need to do something about that. Look at it, that's the update there. So the update works. You see the search function? Double click on the search button. I'm going to copy all of these from the updates, grab all of those and paste it inside my search function here. Now all I just want to change inside the search function will be as follows. I'm going to now delete. You see here, I'm going to change everything in here to select. Let's say select from, that will be all from my system, where the student ID, instead of set, that will be where the student ID is equals as follows. And here where it says where we have first name, I'm going to change that to all. First name equals that. And here as well, I'm going to change that to all as well. So that takes care of that. Now we get it execute non-query, close the database. But I'm not just going to close the database straight away. I am going to, let's say I want the DT, that will be equals new data table, add parenthesis, and DA, I think I have that up here somewhere inside the search here. DA, grab hold of my DA, but in this case that's going to be command. I'm going to need this as well, so just grab hold of those two, bring them down. Yeah, we got the search in there, so get rid of this. That should just be okay. Now paste that in here and get rid of all of this, and that will just be command there. And the DA field, okay, then we have, okay, let's do one more thing. Supposing there's empty data in there, okay, let's do this. I'm going to say data grid view 1 dot data source, and the data source is going to be DT. Good. But up here, let's declare a variable before I can go any further. I'm going to say dim. I'm going to call it checkers. Checker as integer. Right. If checker is an integer, let's come right down here underneath here. I'm going to say checker, that will be equals, convert whatever is in there to integer. So let's say dot to integer 32, whatever we have inside dt dot rows dot count dot to string there. Okay, so far it's looking good. Then we can now close it, and now here I'm now going to use a message box in there. Let's use an if statement. If checker equals 0, then we want the following. I want the message box to display, and here I also want that my text box, let's say txt search dot text, that will be equals search, and underneath let's just say end if. Yeah, so I'm going to delete this message box because that will actually pop up anytime I click on that search. So I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's run it and you see. Here we go. There. So in here I'm going to type in, let's type in the code of Tony Montana. I'll just type in Tony in there, and if I click on this, you see that message box pops up, and I click on OK. It's not displaying Tony Montana. So I'm going to come right here, get rid of that, and save that. Okay, now that the message box is gone, let's do one thing. Let's try it out again. Run. So okay, I'm going to enter, maybe enter 7684 in there and click on search. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That is working. Now the message box does not display anymore. That is good. Now, before I then close this, I want to, you see this update, I'm going to add a search into it. I just want to play a trick that will make it change and only shows the data that we have on our system. So I'm going to now exit out. Okay, you can see it updated. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to copy this. Okay, we call it inside updates. Go to updates, double click on update. Right, and right underneath here, this is update. Right underneath the message, I'm going to call that function in there, and now I'm going to say new object. Right, double click on that, comma, new event argue. Just copy this, paste that in there. There we go. Right, I believe that should do it. Okay, so it's gonna search at the same time, kind of like look for and re-upload. Let me save that. Run. Okay, that is fine. Now let's take care of the delete. Then the delete, we always delete the excess that we might have in there. So let's come in here, double click on delete. Now inside the delete, I'm going to copy as follows. Here, let's just copy all of these here. And now let's go into, I'm going to copy inside, copy all of this, and go right down there, paste it in the delete. Now we're going to change all of these here. So change this one to delete. Okay, delete all from my table where the student ID, where the student ID is this, the txt. Okay, and here let's just do it for student ID alone. Then I'm just going to end this here. Yeah, that should take care of my delete and get the system run. Delete this as well, and command that will execute, and we'll close it. A message box to display record successfully deleted. Let's delete that. Record successfully deleted. Okay, so information, and I'm gonna call that. Yeah, that's fine. Viewer is called. However, I also need to clear every single text box in there. So let's do this. Come right down here. I'm down, and I'm going to say txt student ID dot text that is clear. Okay, right. Let's repeat the same thing for the others. Then we have first name clear, txt surname, txt address, clear that, txt postcode, clear, txt telephone, and clear that as well. Okay, so I'm going to do one thing, copy this just in case if there's any error I want this closed. I think I'm going to repeat the same thing for everyone here. The database should be closed here as well. I think there. Alright, so all of that is done. That is my delete function. Okay, so guess what? If I delete it, I also want my text box. Okay, the search text box, I want it. So let's come in here. I don't want that empty. Txt search.text, that will be equals search there. So that is fine. And guess what? This can be used for the reset. So I'm going to copy all of that and double click on reset and paste that in there. So reset is taken care of. Now reset is done. We have print and exit. So let's take care of exit first. In exit, let's say dim I exit as dialog results, and I exit, that will be equals the following message. So let's go and grab the message box that I have in there already. Grab all of this and just paste that in here. And the message, I'm going to change that to confirm if you want to exit. Right, so that is good. That takes care of that. Then I'm going to use an if statement here. If I exit equals dialog results dot yes, let's say dot yes. Okay, then so which means this one should be yes or no. Dot yes or no here. Then you say application dot exit. So that takes care of the exit statement. Okay, so the good thing about this is it will always prompt the user to confirm if they want to exit or not, should in case if you mistakenly click on the exit unknowingly. So let's run that and see how that works. Alright, so we've done delete. Now let's go to, let's click on this, clear, that is good. And whatever we enter in here and there and reset, that's good. Okay, now we need to try out delete. So I'm going to add, okay, let's do one thing. This is going to add excess, good. So now let's select this and click on delete. Yeah, that is gone. Okay, now the next thing we'll need to do is to take care of the print, this very one. Yeah, that's the last one left. And come right down here, double click on print. Just before I print, just before the print, let me check my database to confirm that the other data is deleted. So click on my access. That is it right there. Look at it. It's saying it's deleted. If I close that and reopen it, you see that that data is gone. So that's good. Alright, so we need to take care of print. Double click on print. But before we can print, I've left out two objects. Let's come into toolbox. I need the print document, this one. And I also need the print dialog, those two. Make sure you have them. Select the print preview dialog, go to the property of that, and right in here you see where we have document, select print document. Okay, now we can start working on the print. Double click on print button. If you notice at the beginning of this project, I actually declared private bitmap as bitmap, so I'm going to be using that for this printing. First of all, let's say dim height, let's say as integer. Okay, and that will be equals data grid view dot height. There. Now the data grid view dot height, that will be equals, copy that, paste that in here. Data grid view dot height equals data grid view row count dot row count. Yeah, that should be row count. Let's do that in uppercase. Row count, and we then multiply that by data grid view 1 dot row template. That should be row template there. Row template dot height. There, get rid of this. That should be row count. Okay, now let's say bitmap. The bitmap equals new bitmap. And that is going to be me dot data grid view width dot width, comma me dot data grid view 1 dot height dot height. Right, and let's just speed that up. Seems to be a lot of coding in there, and right there, okay, those are the lines of codes. Okay, so that is fine. Now let's just put try in there, try cache, and let's grab the cache up here. Where is it? Grab all of this here and bring it down here, paste it there, and get rid of that. This is just a print message error. Okay, that's fine. Now we need to come in here. You see the print dialog, double click on that. In there, if you want, you can also use a try cache, so I'm going to just put try cache. I already have error message, so put my error message in there, get rid of this, and in here let's declare as follows. No, let's say e.graphic, and that will be dot draw an image. We want draw image, and that is going to be for the bitmap at this coordinate 0 by 0 there. That is good. Now let's say dim rectangle p as integer, no, as a rectangle, and that is going to be equals e dot page setting. Let's look for page setting dot printable area. Okay, and the rectangle, that should be rectangle F. Okay, that's gone. Now use an if statement. If me dot data grid view 1 dot height minus rectangle p dot height less than 0, then e dot has more page. That will be equals true then, and that's all. So that is my print. So we can try that out now. So save that, run. Let's see. We should be able to see the details in there. Only 2 we showed. Click on run. There we go. Look at that. So the print is working. Everything is working now. Now one more thing. You see, when I click on here, I want this search function to disappear, or this search text to disappear. So I'm going to come right in there. Let's open up the form, select that, go to the properties, and let's come into the event here. I want to use mouse enter and mouse leave. So let's see, mouse enter, double click on that. When mouse enter, I want the following: txt search dot text, that will be equals clear. Okay, and I also want it to get focused. Paste that here. That's a dot focus. Yeah. Now I also want the color dot font color, for color I want it to be black. Color dot black. Okay, that takes care of that. So I also want when the mouse leaves, so let's come in here, select mouse leaves. Now when the mouse leaves, I want to use an if statement there. If is empty, then I want the following: the text content in here, I want it to be, copy that, paste that in here, I want it to become search. There. And I also then want the text, the color, to become silver. So grab all of this, paste color dot silver. There we go. And that's all there is to that. So when we run it now, run and see how that's going to work. Mouse enter whatever data you want to look for. So let's assume we want to look for Sally. Check this out, we have Sally's details in there. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's say we can search by name, we can search by surname, and we can search by student ID. Let's say we want to look for whoever has the following student ID 76845. Search. That's Tony Montana. So that's good. Now, so I'm going to call it the end of this project, but before I leave, let me just show you guys the code. Take it from the top. Those are that's the imported OLE DB, the declare variables, and declare variable for the bitmap. That's my function. And scroll right down, form load, bring it down, save. So that's for the save data, the save that data button, view button. The view, we just call the view function up there, and we have the updates button, and that is for data grid view. Search function, okay, and bring it down, delete. Then we have reset, exit, and print. We have print in there, print button, print objects. Okay, and finally we have the search text box. So let's run it one more time. Run. There we go, guys, and that is how you create your own Visual Basic .NET Access database connector. So here are the datas on my Access database. There they are. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. Please do subscribe to my channel. It helps a great deal when you guys are subscribed. And you can also join to become a member of the channel. You all have a nice day now, and bye for now.